Hi guys, it's Jen. Welcome to C55. We are going to be doing a mixture of strength and conditioning work today. You're going to need a couple of things. You're going to need some sort of mat potentially for anything we're coming down on the floor, and you're going to need a couple of medium-sized dumbbells. You could use kettlebells, or you could do some of this without any weight, but ultimately you really do need a couple of dumbbells or some hand weights. Maybe a couple of bottles of water could be something you could use an alternative. So I'm going to give you kind of 30 seconds. Just go and get those bits and pieces together. Make sure you've also got a bottle of water with you and a towel. You are going to get hot and sweaty today. We're going to do a good warm-up to start with. It's going to take us about sort of 6 minutes, something like that. Our main piece today is split into 2 chunks of 15 exercises across 15 minutes, done through 2 rounds, so that will take about 30 minutes, and then we're going to have a really good stretch out at the end. So 30 seconds, go and grab everything you need together, get your favourite playlist on, and I'll be with you. Okay, let's get on with the warm-up. Like I said, it'll take about 6 minutes. We're going to start, well, what I would like you to do is you to sink down, all the way down towards the ground, and we're just going to sway one foot to the other, just warming up the lower body and the midline, just side to side. We're doing 30 seconds of each exercise through the warm-up. Just one side to the other, a little bend in the knee each time. Just 30 seconds. Okay, you're going to go into your butt kick. So butt kick is bringing the heel up to the bottom. So where my hands behind, I can feel my feet coming up. You can do it quicker if you want. Just getting that heart rate up. "30 seconds of each." If you can't do that, you can just step it out if that's easier for you. Whatever takes or is good for you today is fine. Okay, next one, we're going to do a semicircle swing. So we're going to transfer the weight onto one side. I'm going to bring the weight, my other leg behind, swinging out in front. A little bit of balance is required in this one. So you can either be hands out to the side, or if you've got something you want to put your hand on, make it a little bit easier, you can do that as well. Just swinging that leg out in front and around to the side is absolutely fine. And then we swap it over onto the other leg. If you can do it without the wall, then that's absolutely fine as well. Actually, it's a little bit better because it helps work a bit more on your balance and your core, okay? For myself, not feeling totally balanced today, I'm just going to work with a bit of support. Just swinging that leg out in front, bringing it around behind, and then back around the front. Around the front, in front, and behind, front, and behind. Brilliant. Okay, next one is a reverse lunge. So we're going to be stepping back. My chest is staying up nice and tall, spine in neutral position, and I'm just going to be lunging back. It is a warm-up, so I'm not expecting big movements or fast movements, just nice and gentle. All these movements warming up the patterns that we're going to be utilising throughout our main workout. So just stepping it back. Don't worry if your knee isn't going as low as mine. Just make sure that your hip is stacked on top of your knee as it's coming down. Imagine yourself like a piston. We've got another 30 seconds on this one. So we're just going to step it back, chest up tall, nice and steady. Start to feel warmer. Okay, shake yourself out of that one. We're going to go into a jumping jack. So jumping jack, you can step it out or you can jump it out. Legs come wide, arms come wide, hands come together at the top, and then back all in together. Out wide, in. And we get a little bit of a rhythm going with it. Another 25 seconds. Bring the hands together. A bit of coordination's involved. 15 seconds. Just purely aim to get that heart rate up. 6 seconds. Brilliant, okay. Shake it out a little bit. We're gonna do a squat and a chest opener. So we're gonna squat it down. Make sure your feet are just wider than your hips. You're gonna squat down, and as I come up, I'm gonna open up my chest, okay? So, squat down, open up. Squat down, open up. Squat down, open up. Another 15 seconds. Okay, next one's a curtsy lunge, something we will be doing a little bit in the main piece, working on our single leg work. So I'm going to bring that knee behind and all the way through, making sure my foot landed front foot, my foot is facing forward. I'm going to bring that foot back underneath my hip, and I'm going to bring that knee through, pushing up for my back leg, coming all the way through each time. Make sure you've got enough space. I'm a little bit cramped in here. Let me just, that's better. Like I said, bring that knee all the way through. Fantastic. Okay, arm swings. Let's swing our arms. Don't have to be big, massive circles, just little ones to start with. Warming up those shoulders, getting them ready. Chest up nice and tall. Few deep breaths. For the next exercise, we're going to do a skater. So you will need a little bit more space. So keep those arms swinging while I'm just going to adjust my space accordingly. Keep the arms going. Okay, so for the skater, I'm going to start with my feet together. I'm going to jump out onto my side, inside leg. Comes up, okay? Doesn't have to be a big jump, just a little one. And just step it out as well if you want, and that's absolutely fine. Again, this is the warm-up. Doesn't have to be big, huge movements. Brilliant, okay. Take a rest. You've got 30 seconds and I'm going to bring you back in. We're going to start with the main workout. So just grab a drink of water and I'll be back with you. Okay, we're going to get on with the main workout. You're going to need both your dumbbells. You're going to place them down on the floor, about a foot or so in distance away from each other, and we're going to do a lateral step over. So make sure you've got plenty of space. We're going to go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, okay? If they're not wide enough apart or you feel like you're going to trip over them, make a bit more space. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We're doing 50 seconds on, 10 seconds rest today. We'll do the first 15 minutes, then we'll take a minute's rest. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Just keep counting those threes. Okay. Put one dumbbell out the way. Grab the other one. Bring it into what we call a goblet hold in front. We're going to go into a curtsy lunge like you did in the warm-up. Start with my feet stacked under my hips and bring my foot down and behind. Make sure you've got plenty of space. Bring that knee all the way through. Nice and steady, doesn't need to be rushed. Make sure your chest is still facing forward. You should feel that a little bit more in the glute than you do in a normal lunge. Ten seconds. Okay. Shake yourself out of that one. We're going to go into a single leg deadlift. I'm going to start on my left leg. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use my other leg as just a little bit of support. So I'm going to step that one back, do on a toe spot. So majority of my weight is in that front leg. I'm going to push my hips back. As I push my hips back, the dumbbell runs down the front of the leg. I only go as far as my hamstrings will permit me. And I'll make sure that my shoulders are staying nice and level. So I'm not letting the dumbbell rule me or pull me to one side. You should feel the majority of that should all be in that planted foot or planted leg, sorry. Make sure your hips are nice and level as they're coming down. Bring it back up again. Okay, we're going to do the other side. So my right leg is now firmly planted. My knee is soft. My left leg is purely there just as a bit of a tripod, just to make sure I don't fall over. My hips are nice and level. Dumbbell comes down the front of the leg. Let the dumbbell stay really close to the body and make sure that you're not dropping out through the upper back. You should feel that in your hamstring, your glute. Five seconds. Okay, bring yourself out of that one, give yourself a little shake. We're going to do a curl and a press. So my feet are staying directly underneath my hips, chest up tall. So I'm going to hammer curl. So palms facing in, coming up to a 90-degree angle. Then I'm pushing up over the head. I'm going to bring them down. I'm going to go for one more press. Then I'm going to bring it down to the shoulders. And then I'm going to release all the way back down. So I'm going to reverse that curl. So bicep curl, press, press. Bring it back down again. Bicep curl. 2 presses. Make sure when you press up, the dumbbells are finishing above your head and you're not pressing out in front. All the way back down again, okay? Bicep curl, up into press. Second press. Okay, bring them back down again. So, you can drop those over to the side. You might want to get yourself a little mat for this one. We are going to do a boxer roll up into a kneel. So I'm going to drop my weight back onto the floor. I'll slow it down for you. As I come back up, I'm bending my bottom leg and I'm coming up. I'm not going all the way up, I'm just coming up to here. So I'm coming all the way back and then into my kneel, okay? Use the momentum to bring yourself back up again. I'm going to swap over legs and try it on the other side. So I'm dropping down from the top, all the way down. I'm going to use my other side to get up. Notice one side's obviously going to be harder than the other. So I'm going to stick with my left leg. Give it another go. Remember, we are filming this. If you find that movement a little bit difficult, pause it. Give it a little practice and then you can catch up with us. Okay, so from there, we are going to go into a squat and lunge. So we're going to squat down. As we come out of our squat, we're going to go into a reverse lunge. Squat, reverse lunge. Squat, reverse lunge. Squat, reverse lunge. Squat, reverse lunge. Okay, next exercise. Everyone's favourite, a burpee. If you want the mat to put your hands on when you come down, you can do. Hands go down onto the floor. Chest comes all the way, feet jump back. Chest comes all the way down. Push back up from the floor, feet jump in wide, and we jump up, okay? Hands go down, feet go back. Brilliant. Give yourself that 10 seconds rest. You're going to grab hold of your weights. And we're doing a bent over row. With your bent over row, my feet are going to be directly underneath my hips. I'm going to push my hips back nice and flat. And I'm drawing in with a neutral grip. So my palms are facing in. And the weights are coming into my pockets, my side pockets. Squeezing my shoulder blades together. Woo. Those burpees got me. Make sure you're not feeling it in your lower back and it'll tight through your midline. Another 12 seconds. Well done. Bring yourself out of that one. We are going to go down into a push-up. It's a hand release push-up. So you said use a mat if you want to. Hands go directly underneath my shoulders. I'm going to lower myself down to the mat really nice and slowly. When I get to the bottom, I'm going to rest my chest for a second. I'm going to take my hands off of the floor and then I'm going to replant them and push myself all the way up. Slow on the way down. Release my hands, push myself back up again. Nice and steady. I'm staying tight through the midline. You can do this on your knees as well. That's absolutely up to you. And then back up. Okay. You're going to need the mat because the next 3 exercises are going to be down on the floor. So, as you know, I completely lie. You're back up. You've got a squat, with 5 pulses and a jump. And then we're down on the floor for 3 exercises. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. In our 5th one, we're gonna come up and we'll do a lateral jump, okay? Bring ourselves back down again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Bring yourself up, jump it over. Bring it down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Jump it over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Jump it over. One more set. 3, 4, and 5. Fantastic. Okay, now we're down onto the floor. We're going to start with some crunches. So, down onto your bottom, feet just in, bring your sort of heels in close to your bottom, hands are going on my temples, and I'm just bringing myself up to engage that top part of my abdominals, and then rolling my spine back down again. Little crunch each time. Just aiming to bring my shoulder blades off the ground. Little movement. Don't put your hands behind your neck, don't use your head. Want to make sure you put your hand there on your top of your abdominals, you can feel them crunching together. Brilliant. Okay, relax yourself back down onto the floor. We're now going to work the lower part of our abdominal area. So I'm going to put my hands just under my glutes just to tilt my pelvis back. Keeps my back flat into the floor. I'm going to extend my legs out, and then I'm going to bring my knees in. Extend my legs out, point my toes. I'm not returning my feet to the floor. Try and bring those knees as far as you can, and then extend all the way out. Okay, I'm going to bring a little bit of that all together for the next movement. So I'm going to do a modified bicycle. So what's going to happen is I'm going to bring my shoulder blades off the ground, and bring my feet off the ground. Opposite hand to tap opposite toe. So I'm going cross body. Keep those shoulder blades off the ground. Okay, ooh. Right, final exercise in the first 15 minutes is going to be plank. So, bring yourself into high plank. So I want your hands directly stacked underneath your shoulders. My feet are in line with my hips. My glutes are squeezed. That helps tuck my pelvis under. So without my glutes being squeezed, I've got an arch in my back. If I squeeze my glutes, that helps engage a lot more through the lower part of the abdominal area. And we've got another 30 seconds. Make sure you're nice and tight. 17 seconds. Keep holding. Five seconds. 3, 2, 1. Okay, drop it down. Right, I'm going to give you a minute's rest, and then that was your practice round. We're going to do that all again. So take a rest, get some water on board, and I'll be back with you. Okay, let's get to it. We've got our next round, although our final round. So pop those dumbbells back down on the floor. We're going back in with the same movements. We've got our step overs or our jump overs, however you want to see it. We're going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All right. Make sure they're far enough apart that you're not tripping over them. You can do this without the dumbbells if you're worried. Another 15 seconds. Okay, brilliant. Ditch one of them out of the way. I'm going to go into your curtsy lunge. Goblet hold in front with the dumbbell. Feet starting just wide and hip width apart. And I'm stepping behind, bringing that knee all the way through, and then bringing it back to starting position. Stepping it all the way down, up. Don't worry if your knee doesn't come all the way down to the floor. That's absolutely fine as well. You do you. You should feel that a lot more in your glute. So you can do a normal lunge if this is too much for you. You could do a side lunge. You've got 20 seconds. Woo. One more. Okay. Grab a dumbbell. Pop it in your left hand with your left leg. We're going to do that deadlift. So we're going to drop that leg back, or sorry, drop your right leg back as a supporting leg. My hips, I'm going to push them back. Keep my back nice and flat, as far as my hamstrings will permit me. And then I'm back up again. Try not to let the dumbbell tilt you to one side. Try and keep nice and level through your shoulders and your hips. Let that dumbbell run down the front of the leg. Well done. A few more reps. Okay, let's move that onto the other side. So, dumbbell switches over into the other hand. My left leg's going back, my right leg's staying forward. I'm going to check my hips, check my shoulders, make sure I'm level, and I'm not twisting. Keep that weight nice and close to the leg. Okay, carefully bring yourself out of that one. You're going to need both. We're going for that curl and press. Remember the press, we're going to go for 2 presses. So hammer curl up, press up above the head, back down to the shoulders, back overhead, back all the way down. Curl, press, press, all the way back down again. Curl, press, and press. We've got 30 seconds. Slow on the return down. 15 seconds. It's time for one more. Bring it up into that curl, press, and press. Slowly bring it back down again. Brilliant, okay. Put the dumbbells off to one side. We're going to practice that boxer roll again. So, I'm going to drop down to the floor. I'm going to let myself roll all the way back, use a bit of momentum, bring myself up. I'm only coming up into a kneeling position. Coming all the way back, up into a kneeling position. All the way up. What I want you to do, you've got 20 seconds left this time. If you've perfected the up onto the kneel, then you want you to push yourself all the way up, fully up into standing. Okay, we're going to do one more from the top. We're going to roll it all the way down, all the way back. Foot goes under, up into that kneeling position, all the way up into standing. Well done on that one. Okay, squat to lunge. I'm going to get my mat out of the way. So, I'm going to come down into my squat. I'm going to come out the top of my squat. I'm going to come into my lunge. Squat. You can do a forward lunge if you prefer. Ten seconds. Okay, bring yourself out of that one. Okay, so from your squat to lunge, you're going into your favourite movement, which is a burpee. We're going in 4 seconds. Remember, hands down onto the floor, jump the legs back, chest comes all the way to the ground, feet coming wide, jump up, okay? If that's too much, you can step it out, hands go down to the floor, walk, walk, step, step, stand up. Or hands go down, step it back, onto your knees, push up off your knees, feet in, stand up. Entirely up to you. You've got 25 seconds. Well done. You're pleased to know that's burpees done for the day. Grab your dumbbells. You've got your bent over row. So remember for that one, we're pushing our hips back. Loading my hamstrings and my glutes to hold this position. And drawing the dumbbells into my side pocket, squeezing my shoulder blades together. Nice and steady. Elbows to the back of the room. Ten seconds. Okay, we've got that tempo push up, so you can pop your dumbbells down. If you want a bit of a mat, pop that one down. Remember, coming nice and slow from the top, so start in your high plank position, brace your core, steady, slow all the way down. Once you get to the bottom, pause for a second, release the hands and push yourself back up again. Slow, 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 all the way down. Release the hands, push yourself back up again. Make sure you're tight through that midline. If you're not tight, you'll start to dip your back. All the way down and back up again. You've got 12 seconds. Time for one more. Okay, Pop the mat to the side for a second. We've got our pulse squats and a jump. Remember, we do 5 pulse squats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On the 5th one, we laterally jump, okay? Bring it down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lateral jump. You can step it if you don't want to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lateral jump. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Jump it over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice big jump. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Big jump. Time for 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. We're on to abs. Get that mat. We'll start with the crunch. So, bring yourself down onto the mat. Roll yourself back. Hands on the temples. Just using this top part of the abdominals. Shoulder blades off the ground. Squeeze. Don't worry how fast you're going. Just try and keep going. Okay, going into our knee lifts. Hands slightly under your glutes just to make sure you keep that back nice and flat into the ground. Legs fully extended, toes pointed. Bring the knees into the chest. Extend the legs back out again straight. Now we're starting to work that lower part on our hips. Try and bring those knees as close into the chest as you can. Full extension of the legs.
That's why I've got to be who I am. I'm gonna be myself again. So this is the end.
Nearly there, guys.
I've got to let go of you. I've got to let go.
Keep it going.
I've got to let go of you. I've got to let go. I've got to let go of you. I've got to let go.
Okay, we're into those modified bicycles. So, I'm going to bring my knees up. I'm going to bring my shoulder blades off the ground. Opposite hand to opposite toe, tap. Bring the other hand back to your temple. Again, don't worry about doing these too quickly. Just keep it going and try and get through the next 35 seconds. Keep it going. Nearly there. We've got 15 seconds. Come on, a little bit further. Brilliant. You've just got plank to finish on, so flip yourself over. You can do plank on your elbows or on your hands. My preference today has been on my hands. Hands are directly under my shoulders. Feet behind, in line with my hips. Squeeze my glutes and hold that position nice and tight. I've got 40 seconds on the clock. Want you to challenge yourself now. I don't want you to drop. Everything in your abdominals should be on fire. 30 seconds, keep it going. 20 seconds. Don't drop now. Last 10. Brilliant. Absolutely awesome. I hope you're all as sweaty as I am. Make sure you take a little bit of water on. Get your tail, give yourself a bit of a dry off, and then we're going to do a bit of mobility and some stretching and a cheeky little squat hold just to finish off your legs today, and also to help a little bit to improve your own squats for when you do them in normal workouts. So I'm going to give you 30 seconds and then I'll be back with you. Okay, we're going to come back in. We're going to start with a 5-minute squat. So, something to challenge yourself with. I don't expect you to do it completely unbroken the first time. If you haven't done something like this before, you can break out of it and stand up momentarily and then bring yourself back down and sort of accumulate that time. So, you're going to go into your deep squat. So, feet nice and wide, toes turned out, and you're going to drop yourself down towards the floor. Try not to drop the chest forward. Try and hold. You can use your elbows to push your knees out. Help open up those hips. For anybody who squats and squats weights or regularly, should try and improve their mobility. And this is one of the really good drills to do that. So while we're down in a deep squat, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do some ankle rocks. So I'm just going to rock from side to side onto my toes. I can use my hands in front just to support that. Like I said, if it's too much to stay down here for the full time, you could just bring yourself up, shake yourself out for a few seconds, but then try and come down almost straight away. Okay, again I'm going to push out on my knees. 90 seconds in. It's definitely a good thing to get comfortable being uncomfortable in. Like I said, if you need to turn your feet out a little bit more dramatically than you do in a normal squat, then that's absolutely fine. Try not to drop out, try not to round your back. So keeping that head up. Two minutes in, just 3 minutes to go. And do some more ankle rocks. Bring yourself up if you need to. Count to 2. Bring yourself back down again. Like I said, we're trying to accumulate that time. And we've got 2 minutes left. A few more ankle rocks. Coming up to the last 90 seconds. You've got this. Try not to give up on it now. We've got the last minute coming up. So just one more minute. Try and bear with it. Try not to break out of this. It should feel uncomfortable at this point. But I say it should do. If it's something you don't do regularly, it will feel uncomfortable at this point. We're so close. You've got 30 seconds. "20 seconds. "10 seconds. Okay, you're done. Now don't just jump out of this. Carefully release yourself up, slowly out of it. Bring the legs back together. They might feel a little bit stiff to start with. Let some life come back into them. A few steps on the spot. Shake it out a little bit. If you're someone who really struggled with that, something to practice. I would highly recommend a couple of times a week you set a timer. Especially if you're someone that when the gym is open, comes in and does a lot of squatting, especially with weights. If you can't squat properly into a deep squat like that, you probably shouldn't be putting weight on your back. Okay. We're going to do some nice stuff now. So we're going to stretch out our hamstrings. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to drop myself down towards the floor. I'm just going to let my body all the way down. Feel a good stretch up the back of the legs. Try and, if I can touch the floor, then great. Put your hands flat on the floor, even better. If you can't, just hold the trainers. That's absolutely cool as well. We're just going to hang out here for another 30 seconds. Feeling that stretch all the way down the back of the legs. Another 15 seconds. Okay, slowly bring yourself out of that one. I'm going to do a quad stretch. For my quad stretch, I'm just going to do a standing quad stretch today. I'm going to bring my foot up in front. I'm going to grab hold of my laces and I'm going to bring my heel behind. Push my chest forward. I'm going to do 30 seconds on each side. Okay, I'm going to swap it onto the other side. Bring that knee up, grab hold of my laces, bring my heel behind. If I want to increase that stretch, I'll push my hips forward. Another 10 seconds. Okay, carefully bring that down, give it a little shake out. Open up my chest. Nice big deep breath in. Drawing my shoulder blades together. Feeling a stretch through here. And the top part of my arm where my chest connects onto my upper arm area. And I'm going to transfer between that and my back. So I'm going to interlock my fingers. I'm going to push forward, rounding my upper back. Feeling like my arms are being pulled. Keep pulling forward. And I'm going to open up my chest again. Back into stretching out my back. Open up my chest. Back into my back. Back into my chest. Okay, final thing, I'm going to come down to the mat. I want to give my abs a little bit of a stretch out. They took a bit of a battering. So I'm going to bring myself down onto my mat, tummy on the floor. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to push up so I can feel that stretch through the front of my abdominals. If I want to increase that stretch, I bring myself down, shuffle my hands a little bit further back, pushing up. You should feel a really good stretch through that front part of the tummy area. Okay, carefully bring yourself back down again. Well done, guys. That was absolutely awesome as always. Thank you very much for joining me again this week. I will be back with you next week. If you've got any feedback or anything you'd like to tell us, either message us at the gym, put a comment in the feed here, private message me on social media. All feedback is greatly received. And thank you very much for supporting us. Thank you.